Welcome back to From the Hip, your go-to podcast for all things football. I'm your host, Anthony Rodriguez, and today we're diving into a crucial topic for any fantasy manager, players to avoid in your drafts. As we approach the 2024 NFL season, it's not just about who you pick, it's also about who you steer clear of. Whether it's due to injuries, team changes, or simply the expectations just being too high, some players can be landmines waiting to blow up your fantasy season. In this episode, we'll break down our top fantasy avoids, players who might look tempting on paper but could end up being major disappointments. We'll analyze their situations, look at data, and give you the insights you need to make informed decisions in your drafts. Along the way, as always, we'll discuss the latest happenings around the NFL, such as the contract holdouts, the comebacks, the crucial starter choices this year. So grab your draft boards and get ready to take some notes. It's time to separate the fantasy studs from the fantasy duds. Let's dive in. Before I can do that, I have to introduce the crew, obviously. Joining me from Twitch TV, you can find them as Boogie_CTV, Justin Rodriguez.
You hit me.
My co-producer and co-host, Tyler B. From Station Head Radio, we have Hollywood Mo. And of course, the show would not be complete without the freaky man himself, Kory Thompson.
The king is dead, baby. Oh, I thought I was gonna get some booze or something.
That's what I thought.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Started to do it, but I ain't want to start the show off like that. I started to go.
So today is August 17th, 2024. And this is week 2 in the NFL preseason, guys. I don't know if you guys are paying attention. Currently, right now, Chicago is playing. The Ravens are playing. We're going to get obviously, we can't talk about those games right now during this particular podcast because they haven't finished. All right. The one game we can talk about is the Thursday game, New England against Philadelphia. Okay. Did any of you guys get a chance to watch the game?
Seen a little highlights.
Seen a little highlights. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, the unfortunate part of preseason is that you don't really get a chance to see a lot of the starters. And there's several teams that they have no intention of playing their starters at all for the entire preseason. So it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because you're getting a chance to see the backups. You're getting a chance to see a lot of these guys who are going to eventually have a chance to play, but not right away. One of those guys was Drake Maye. Drake Maye actually looked pretty good. I mean, we just talked last weekend about Joe Milton III and how it's not so clear cut. I think at this point, based off of the way Drake Maye played on Thursday, even for the short amount of time, the biggest problem I see is the quarterback controversy that could end up happening between him and Jacoby. So I wanted to get your takes on that because there's some people talking about they felt that Drake Maye, they were going to bring him on slow, but do they really have to? He looks that good. So let me start with Justin. Justin, did you get a chance to look at him at all and see how he played?
I saw a couple of the Drake Maye highlights, but the highlights make everybody look like superstars. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That's what's the point of highlights. You know what I'm saying? But I did see that the coach came out and said that QB1 has not been decided yet. He's still on the verge between Maye and Jacoby Brissett. So I'm glad you bring that up. But I've said it last week, and I'm gonna stand by what I said last week. It is the preseason, and you are playing backups. You're not playing starters. You know what I'm saying? So I think these guys are all the rookies. It looks like all the rookies are looking good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that these guys are playing backup, second string guys, third string guys. I don't want to see till week 1.
You know, You're right. It is the preseason, but I know just before the podcast here, I was watching the Chicago game. And I was watching the Chicago game, even though the Ravens were on and stuff like that. The reason I was watching the Chicago game was because I'm interested to see they actually are playing Caleb.
Yeah.
And he's playing for a significant amount of time. And I want to see what we're talking about here. Everybody's hyped on him, and he looked fantastic. Does his competition, is it the level that he's going to be playing in a couple of weeks? No.
No.
Not at all. But did he dominate when he was in? Yes. And dominated well. So, I mean, I don't want to say that it's because he's playing a lesser team or not, because he looked pretty good. He looked damn good. I know Mo don't like that shit.
I just have one problem.
Talk to me.
They didn't let him throw it downfield. That's it. That's it. All of it was within what, 15 yards?
That's most of the NFL, though.
Man, I don't want to hear that.
Man, we didn't want to see that shit. We want that shit
I
aired
wanted
the
to
fuck
see,
out.
No.
Man.
But he did chuck one downfield. It was accurate. It was on the money, and the receiver dropped it. I just want to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Joe Milton get in, that's what we see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's just because of the difference in QBs and how they attack, or just, maybe I'm scared of Joe Milton running. I'm not scared of Drake Maye running. Maybe it could be that.
Though, but Drake Maye did put he showed some wheels. Did he show Joe Milton wheels? No. But did he show some actual let's say Josh Allen wheels? Maybe.
How do we go back from Caleb Williams to Joe Milton?
Oh, we're bouncing back and forth. That's the topic. We're talking. Come on now.
Drake Maye.
Yeah, we're talking about Drake Maye. I'm just was talking about the fact that Caleb looked good this morning. That's all.
I just don't want you to ever do that again. But yeah. Drake, I just want to let him throw it down the field. That's all.
I think in time you're gonna see that. You're gonna see that. I'm never been sold on anything for New England. I'm not a New England guy, I'm not either. From the boogie down Bronx, So, we can't root for the Patriots on anything. But the kid looked pretty good. That's all I'm going to say about it. I mean, he didn't look bad, man. He didn't look bad. He showed some wheels, Did you get a chance to actually check the highlights, Kory? By any chance?
I'm sold on Joe Milton. I
can't blame you. He looked good.
Black quarterbacks, man. Black quarterbacks. We got to stick together, black quarterbacks out there.
All right. Hey, let me get to this, because I think this is the biggest deal in the NFL as far as this week was that, this. The New York Jets released a statement this week about the Hassan Reddick situation. And I wanted to get right into that, okay? So let me get to this, the statement. Here it is here. The Jets release said, "We have informed Hassan that we will not trade him, that he is expected to be here with his teammates, and that he will continue to be fined per the CBA if he does not report. Since the trade discussions back in March, we have been clear, direct, and consistent with our position. Our focus will remain on the guys we have here as we prepare for the regular season." That is a statement from the GM, Joe Douglas. And I wanted to get y'all takes. So let me go back around. Let me start with Tyler on this one. Tyler, the statement from the Jets basically saying they're not doing anything and they're not trading him, even though he's demanded a trade. So how do you feel about that? And what do you think that they should do?
I think they should do exactly what they're doing. I mean, in all honesty, he came to the Jets. He knew the Jets told him what they wanted. They said, we'll pick you up from Philadelphia and we'll honor the rest of your contract. And he was cool, bet. Then a couple months later, now he wants to take it all back and just be like, oh, I want more. I want this now. No, you can't do that. You can't do that to somebody. If you accept an agreement, and I understand there was no like signings, there's no contract signings just yet.
Mm-hmm.
There was just an agreed trade. He said yes, it's all verbal, and he goes over. Now he wants to demand more money. It's just like, well, you need to honor what you said. I mean, I get it. Nothing signed permanently, but you have to honor the agreement that you said, because it's not like they said, hey, we'll pick you up if we're for a little extra. Nothing. They didn't lie to him. They didn't say anything to the guy. He's now just turning his back and putting more pressure on this team that he doesn't have to do. So
Yeah.
fine. You know what? Okay, we'll hold you on to it, because this is your punishment. You honor the agreement, or you're going to get fined, and until you decide to actually show up and play. He has like what? It's 1 year left on his
Yeah.
contract.
This is his final year of his contract.
Yeah, so just man up and play your last year, and just then go on to something else. It's that I view it as the Jets putting their foot down. We're not going to get bullied by anybody. We're not going to let someone walk all over us. We come to terms. We come to agree. You don't want to follow it? Okay, this is what you get.
Gotcha. Justin, the way that they're talking about, we went into depth last week. He's looking for 25 mil, right? And most of us agreed that whether or not we agree of him being worth it or not, we're saying that he's probably going to get that, right? And the Jets, in my opinion, would have probably given it to him if he would have shown up for the mini camps. They would have negotiated. He would have got it. Now that he didn't show up, if you were the GM of the Jets, what would you do right now? What would you do currently?
I'm gonna do exactly what he's doing now. He's standing on his 10 toes, telling him that you're gonna show up or you're gonna get fined every single day. Then when your contract is up, I'm not giving you the 25 mil that you want. I won't give it to him, because you kind of show that you're able to be bullied into making whatever contract. The players are able to bully the front office into getting whatever contract they want. That's not how it works, man. So you need to
Does that
understand
mean you would not let him play?
I will not re-sign Hassan Reddick after this year.
Would you trade him?
Yeah.
You would trade him?
I would trade him mid-season, but you will have to show up. I wouldn't trade him right now.
Okay.
You gonna show up, you gonna put the Jets uniform on, you gonna play a couple games. And then I'll train you mid-season if I have a great deal. Or I let you play out the year, and then I'll let you go.
Mo, do we even have a chance of seeing him play this season?
No. I was ridiculed by a certain individual on the show for what I said on a previous show, where I said the Jets knew this was coming. Then I'm watching TV and I watch former NFL player James Jones on Speak say the exact things that I said, which is the Jets knew this was coming. There's no way you traded for him and you did not know this was coming. He asked for it from Philly, and Philly told you this is what he wanted, and you traded for him. Yes, there's some blame on Hassan Reddick. There is some blame on the Jets as well, though. He'll be gone by the middle. He'll be traded in the middle of the season. That's what I think.
All right.
That's what that's.
By the way, of everybody that you mentioned on Speak, James Jones is the least respected one. Stick with Joy Taylor. She's the only one who knows what she's talking about.
No. The least respected one is Shady, because he sounds stupid.
Joy Taylor's the only one I listen to.
He's still a former NFL player.
Yes, he is. Yes,
he knows how these contract things work. He knows how these trades work, because it wasn't like he was just this top tier athlete. But come on, man. You knew this was coming. And I said that.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah, I was about to say, I saw that you disagreed with him. Why were you disagreeing with Mo?
Because Mo's right. The Jets knew it was coming, but the Jets put something in place. The Jets said, show up to camp and then we'll talk. And you don't show up to camp, guess what? You're not keeping up on your end.
Which is per the policy of them.
the policy
they
of
don't
the
negotiate
Jets
with people who
organization.
don't show up to camp.
Show up to
Just
camp.
show up to camp
So
and we can
all
talk.
he had to do was show up to
You don't
camp.
even have to practice.
He didn't have to practice. He just had
You
to,
don't have
hey
to practice.
guys, I'm
Just
here.
show up.
And just lift a couple of weights and go home. And they could have talked contracts. So he's doing this to himself. He's shooting himself in the foot. I hope
would've
the
got his
Jets stand
25.
on business. And I hope he don't play this whole season.
Me too.
And he can go into next season and he'll be worth less money.
I kind of
When
agree
Myles
with Kory
Garrett and them
here.
boys get all that paid, that cheddar,
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to be getting that because he ain't played the season.
One thing
That means he's going to
I'm
go
looking-
to a dominant team, though. And then
Doesn't mean he's going to a dominant team.
shit.
'Cause-
I can get you at a lower price. So I'm going to go to the Chiefs.
It don't mean that. It just means he wants to get
Hey,
paid.
Hey Tyler, what do you
No.
got there?
So I'm looking up this report, and it says this is what Reddick said when he spoke to the Jets. The introductory call this on his introductory video call with the Jets facility on April 1st. He goes, "All options are open, but right now, currently, I'm just worried about being here, meeting everybody's that's in the building today. Contractual stuff, I'm leaving that up to my agent and Joe to figure out. Whatever happens, I'm going to be happy for, and I'm going to give it my all, no matter what." So this dude is blatantly saying this to the Jets. He's saying, like, as soon as he does it, he's just like, "I'm here, guys. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm all about it and stuff." Now all of a sudden he goes, "Well, I want more money. I'm not going to show up." That just shows you who he is. He'll lie to your face. He'll be nice in front of you. Then when he wants something, he'll stab you in the back.
And to my thing, I agree that if he would have just showed up, Jets would have given him his 25 mil, man. They would have gave it to him. He would have been signed. This would not have been a thing, but you got to show up first. This is like the third or fourth show we're talking about this because he's just not showing up. You know, and I agree with Kory. I would let the boy sit. I'd let him sit the whole year. Would not even trade him. I'd let him sit.
Nothing.
Because
What y'all say? Wait, how much did y'all say? Well, how many years did y'all say he has left on the
one,
contract?
he's
one.
on the final
This is the
year of his
last one.
contract.
You can't let him sit because then you lose.
Then lose.
Mhm.
Then lose. Right now, you're out a
But-
third round pick.
I did
Okay.
say
more
the only thing is he could trade him at
Get more out of
the
trading,
trade
bro.
deadline. They could trade him away. Whatever.
All right, but number one, you've got teams that are afraid of trading for him because he might try the same shit. Okay.
They're only getting him for what, 7 games?
Mm-hmm.
It's not as much as they're not taking on as much as the Jets took on.
Yeah.
Trade him mid-season. All right. We're not going to give you that. We're not going to talk about giving you that right now. Bring your ass here. So that means you're not going to a contender possibly because all the contenders, you're not going to a Chiefs. You're not going. You might go to like a mid-level that's just right there, and that could happen. But
Yeah.
I just don't see. I don't see the Jets being that stupid to where they just keep him sitting the whole year just to be petty, because that's a petty move.
But
That's a move you don't do.
Captain Petty.
is he not being petty?
Yeah, but-
And on top of that, he's getting fined.
that, Corey.
So how
I
much
got
money
that.
he gonna miss out on?
He's
But
already
it's
up to
still
$2 million
still a
in
business,
fines.
bro. It's still a business, bro. It's still a business.
I think
So in business, all right, cool. You want to play that? You're gonna lose money until it's the trade deadline. We're gonna trade you, get some value for you in your selfish ass, and we're gonna move on. And you are too. But we're gonna get some. I'm leaving with something.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
that,
leaving
Taking that
with
ashtray
something.
on my way out. I don't even
Yeah,
smoke, but I'm
I'm
taking
leaving
that
with
ashtray.
it makes
I'm leaving you
sense.
with something.
What I worry about is something we talked about a while ago, like with Belichick, when we were wondering what was going to happen with him. And one
Mhm.
thing we talked about is that all the GMs and stuff talk to each other.
True.
This GM that's how he got introduced, and he was all happy and smiles. Now he's being such a prick about everything, not showing up, being having a little hissy fit about it. Now it comes to trades. Ain't gonna be no big name teams. Ain't gonna be anybody that's gonna want to pick him up unless it's lesser teams.
I just
Glad
have
you
one
said
thing
that.
to say to that. I just have one thing to say to that.
Go ahead.
Injuries happen though.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. There are
Then
some
they get better.
possible trades. There are some possible trades
I'd say
that are
we'll get a trade.
already out there. in case people are interested. One of them being sending him back to his original team before the Philadelphia Eagles, which is Arizona. Okay. And receiving basically what you gave up, a 3rd-round pick. So you end up not losing anything. This is one that is a possibility and looks like it might be the forefront. Okay. That might be the number one option for the Jets. Just giving them up and taking back a 3rd-round pick, not their 3rd-round pick, but a 3rd-round pick. So you didn't lose anything. Okay. Which I think works out really well for the Jets. Another one that has him going to the Falcons. Okay. And has them actually picking up some secondary help.
Not happening.
I think
Not happening. I agree with you. I think this is the lesser option of the possibilities. Would be nice.
Justin talked about this week. Did you see who they got?
Yeah.
They got 2 people.
Yeah. Yes. They just locked up that secondary over there.
Not happening.
Okay.
And they got an edge rusher.
Yeah. All right. There's another option. There's another option out there. I spoke about it with Kory real brief. The third option that they have is one that solves 2 contract problems at the same time. And that's trading him to San Francisco for Branden Aiyuk.
All right.
Okay. Well, I
love the sound cue. Perfect timing.
Okay, I only mentioned that because that was one that they were talking about. It would solve a lot of problems. It would also give another wide receiver to Rodgers that they would like to do. But as I was preparing these graphics, reports came out about a possible trade to the Steelers for Branden Aiyuk, and how they have the deal is set where it's all they got to do now is pull the trigger. But there's a lot going on with Branden Aiyuk. He really doesn't want to leave San Francisco, and San Francisco really doesn't want him to go anywhere either. This is a money situation. So apparently the deal is almost in place to keep him in San Francisco. And he may not go at all. So the Steelers deal might just be completely dead. Dead in the water. And he ends up staying for San Francisco. Now I'm going to go straight. Huh?
Sorry, Unc.
Yeah. Would have been nice, but nah, that's not happening. I'm going to go straight to Kory on this. Kory, how do you feel about what the past few days have brought us?
It's just stupid. If you feel like you want to stay with this organization and the organization is telling you they want you to stay, then shut up and just play ball, man. They're going to work something out with you instead of making this big hoopla and crying, oh, I want more money. Oh, trade me. He caused this whole shit show. So, I really don't care, man. I really don't, because they're turning into divas now. They really are turning into divas, crying for money, crying for this, crying for that. You know you're going to get paid regardless. Even when your contract ends, somebody's going to pay you. Just shut up and play. Just be quiet and play, man. That's all I wish that these guys would really do. Mm-hmm. So to me, I mean, what were they going to do? Trade him and Pickens? Ooh.
Well, that's what it was. It was going to be Pickens going to the 49ers, maybe with a draft pick.
Yeah, and Pickens gets a headache, but now you're not on a true contending team where you were in San Francisco, where you're on
that. A lot of people see the Steelers that they might actually win that division. There's a lot of people picking them.
But there's a difference between the AFC and the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC only really has 4 teams. So you're one of those 4 teams. You're going to be a winning team. You could probably compete for a Super Bowl every year, where you're going to be on an AFC's team in the hardest division in football, and you're going to have to struggle. So,
all right. Hey, Tyler, are you able to punch up what the possible contract for Aiyuk is looking like from the 49ers?
So that's actually something I'm reading right now. Don't know about I haven't seen anything about money just yet, but what I am reading, it says the 49ers feel they've already caved enough and caved more than they wanted to. They've come up significantly from their offer in spring, so they have definitely they're offering a lot more than they did before. Reporting that it's pretty much guaranteed over the first 3 years of the deal, which they got saying usually is the hard part. That's the guarantee, the cash flow, the APY over the first couple years, average per year, and that Aiyuk just wants an adjustment in the final year of the deal, which is not guaranteed. So that looks the biggest issue as of right now.
Which is minor because, as I said, the majority of these players, the years that you sign for your contracts, it's like minus the final year because they're all going to hold out the final year anyway. You know,
and it
if
sounds
I was
like they
a
also
GM,
said,
I'm sorry, Tyler, go ahead.
I just because they're just kind of just talking about inflation and stuff, like it's kind of just blah 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 blah. But it goes it says that's why the 49ers have said we're not going to make a move and trade him away because we feel like we can get some deal done. So it looks like it's just right now is that they got almost the entire thing settled. It's just that last final year part. That's the part where
I'd give
really
him the last final year. I'd give him a stupid number. You're going to get 55 on the final year, all right? Because you're going to hold out anyway. Doesn't matter. Hey, Justin, I've said this. The final year doesn't matter because everybody holds out anyway on the final year. That's how they get more money.
Till he opts in for that 55. Oh, boy.
No, then you just release him because it's not guaranteed. It's a team option. Team option. Okay. Hey, Justin, would you keep him on your team?
Aiyuk, yeah, I keep him. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely try to get a deal done. But yeah, man, he's been consistent. When Debo when he falls down the rabbit hole, Debo is non-existent. Aiyuk is there, very consistent player. He's always have been. That's why I'm saying he has a right to argue right now. That's why I ain't really mad at Aiyuk. Yeah, I agree with Kory with the crying, but he crying for the right reason. You know what I'm saying?
At what cost, though? But if I had you to put a number on it.
Like, I mean, we discussed it before the show, like probably 30. He's not number one. He's not number one receiver paid in the NFL talent wise, but he's up there, top 5, top 6.
Okay, top 5. Mo, let me come to you. Do you agree that he might be top 5 wide receiver in the league?
No.
Okay, would you put him top 10?
Aiyuk up there, man. I'm not. All right. I don't want to put a number on it because this front of hip, I know I'm trying to shoot front of hip. But this man for that team has been consistent.
Yeah,
every year. When Debo has him, and Debo got paid, right?
Yeah, Debo is currently, hold on, because I got the list up in front of me.
You doing the wrong job, brother. That was for Tyler.
I'm sorry. I already had the list, though.
He has the list. That's fine.
Okay.
But Debo,
whatever.
I'll tell you what, Debo's getting paid, but Debo is not. At least I don't see him in the top 20.
When Debo got paid, he was trying to get paid.
Yeah, at the time. Oh, no, bullshit. I'm sorry. He's number 12. I apologize. I missed him.
When Debo got paid, he was trying to get paid for real. I cannot blame Aiyuk for what he's trying to do. Is he top 5 to me? Off the top of the head, without thinking about it too much? No. Is he top 10? Yes.
All right. Well, number 10 on that list is Nico Collins at 24 mil.
Top 10, yes.
Okay.
Not even a discussion.
Number 5 on that list would be Waddle at 28.
He's better at Waddle.
Ain't nobody talking about Waddle in 2 seasons since Tyreek been in Miami. No, bro.
Devontae is number 6 at 28 as well.
6 behind Waddle?
Yeah.
In money.
Because Waddle has 28.25.
Money. It's all money talk.
Aiyuk deserves what he wants.
All right. So would you give him 30?
Yes.
So you'd match him with Tyreek and Amon St. Brown.
But see, you're naming receivers. I'm speaking only for the team. The team
Okay.
can't do that at the moment because they also have Trent Williams asking for the same type of stuff.
And
They guarantee my
yeah.
last year. I'm not guaranteed for this year. So they're currently in a bad spot. Is Aiyuk worth what he's asking for? Yes. Yes. The best move for him is to go to Pittsburgh. Will it happen? I don't know because it's been back and forth all. I hope nobody heard that, but it's been back and forth all week. He's going to Pittsburgh. He's going to stay in San Francisco. It's been back and forth, bro, and I just want it to be over. Just pick your team. Say no, I'm not coming back here, and go on about your business. We've all said that the most important thing for them is to probably just go do what Trent Williams wants you to do. We said that.
Mhm.
Was it the last show or the show before? I can't remember. But we did say that. Aiyuk is worth the money he's asking for, though. He is supposed to be top 5. Because if that's the top 5, he's supposed to be top 5.
All right. Granted. I can live with that. From a guy trying to get money to a guy who already got his rookie contract, it's unfortunate. JJ McCarthy has to undergo surgery, and now he is gone for the season. I wanted to get your takes because my question to you all is, was it worth the pick if you're going to lose him? I mean, you could not foresee that you would lose him for the season. And it's not something you could foresee. But in hindsight now, going back in time, okay, you have that time machine. Would you have not drafted him with your first round pick? That's my question to you all. Let me get with Tyler on this. Tyler, if you can go back in time as a GM for the Vikings, would you not have drafted him knowing now, which you obviously could not have known? Would you still have drafted him?
I mean, it's hindsight's 2020. We could sit here and it's like, yeah, if you know you're going to sign someone and they're just going to get injured for the whole rest of the year, no, I wouldn't sign him if I know I'm not going to be able to use him at all, because it's just he's going to be out. I don't know enough of him on how he was. That'd be like Mo. Like Mo was JJ McCarthy. Is he good? Decent? Like what are we
Well, he won the
looking at?
national championship.
Okay.
He's one of those quarterbacks where he shows up where he needs to, so he can win.
So he's not consistent, but is he more of a clutch kind of player? Like he's okay, but then like you said, when you need him, you got him. He knows when to show up. But then if it's just regular, he's just there.
Yeah.
So I mean, without and that's the thing. I guess when it comes to something like that, it'd be good to have that clutch factor. But is it worth spending the money knowing, well, I ain't even have him for a year? I guess if that's the case, get him low. But I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, he's not. If I knew he's going to get hurt, I wouldn't risk it just for the sake of it.
All right, I got you. I'm gonna go to Justin on this. Obviously, don't really have a realistic option at a quarterback this season. So are you looking at other quarterbacks for a future draft, or would you just, if I'm talking about you as the GM, okay? Are you riding this season out and with hopes he comes back full for next season? Or would you look to actually draft another quarterback?
No, I wouldn't draft another quarterback. I would not draft another quarterback. I'm looking at the draft order from see what quarterbacks were taken after JJ, and it's just Bo Nix. So it looks like just Bo Nix after that.
Should have got him then.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the at the pick, I'm not mad that there's no other quarterback after JJ that was worth it. You know what I'm saying? So
Besides Bo Nix.
I ride out the season, man. Just it's not your year, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not your year. Quarterback's not gonna play. You know what I'm saying? I would, if you're not comfortable with your QB room that you have, you can go see if a veteran is on the market. Get a veteran to play for you this year, but just I'll ride out to next year, man. Let him come back healthy and see how he plays, man. You gotta give the kid an opportunity.
Yeah, I wouldn't drop him. I wouldn't
Go
do
get
like
the Pastronaut.
The who?
Oh, y'all don't know who the Pastronaut is.
no. Clearly, we don't. As we all
Bring him
looked
back.
confused. At once.
Joshua Dobbs, the Pastronaut.
He's on 49ers, man.
Yeah, no,
Well,
it's a
they.
joke, bro.
It looks
It's
like
a
they're gonna
joke.
roll with
Relax.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and you got Sam
as their
Darnold, a
quarterback.
former top 3 pick. He ain't shit, but
I'm
he was
about to
drafted in
say,
top 3.
I'm like, do you feel comfortable with it? I mean, and additionally, you're paying $35 million to the wide receiver Jefferson, who a lot of people were hoping that he would be like, this is going to be an explosive year for him. Like a CD type year from last season would be Jefferson's year this year. Is he going to do that with Sam Darnold?
Hell no.
You know, I'm just saying. Mo, I want to get your take on this. You've been a little quiet. You are my college guy. You know JJ amongst better than anyone. You were the one who said when right before the draft that if you had one quarterback out of the top quarterbacks to grab, the guy who you felt was most NFL ready, that was your words, was JJ. And now he's gone for the season. It's unfortunate. So with that knowledge of what's going on, how would you proceed if you're the Vikings, if you're in their shoes?
I mean, to me, they're not in that doggone bad of a spot. Listen, Sam Darnold went from the Jets throwing to who?
I think it was Carolina. Was it
Panthers.
Carolina?
No. Who was he throwing to at the Jets?
Oh, nobody.
Who was he throwing to in Carolina?
Jack.
He went somewhere. Oh, he went to San Francisco, but he was on the bench.
Mm-hmm. He didn't really get a chance to play.
Didn't get no chance. So now he's at the Vikings. He wasn't that bad of a quarterback. He's on the Vikings. He got a chance to throw to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Aston.
Yeah.
I
mean,
think
that's
he'll
a pretty
be
good
okay.
wide receiver core right there.
He has a strong arm. He has his okay accuracy. He can do it because if I was to say that for another quarterback that Minnesota had named Kirk Cousins, then he won't be that bad off, yo. He won't be that bad off to me. Now, he could prove me wrong, and I'll stand on business like I did with the CD stuff, and then I'll just come back and apologize to the people if I'm wrong. But I don't think that I think that Sam Darnold can get it to Justin Jefferson. Are you serious? Justin Jefferson is a top-tier receiver.
He better be able to get it to Justin Jefferson. Otherwise, Jefferson
If he can,
be very upset.
He out of there. But it is a loss because you drafted this man to be at some point your QB1.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like JJ McCarthy, but I mean Sam Darnold can get it done, bro.
Does this push back his progression to QB1? Because if you used your number one pick on him, and let's say you did it the old school way, and you let him sit for the first season just to watch and get and become acclimated to the game. Now that he's been hurt for a season, you lost him for the entire season. Do we end up having another Jordan Love situation where we don't get to see this top guy for multiple seasons and then finally he'll take off? Hey, it worked for Jordan Love. Kory, how do you see that working out for JJ? Do you start him next season when he comes back, or do you let him sit another season?
It all depends. It really depends on Darnold. If Sam Darnold plays, what's up?
I'm seeing this.
Mo?
I see this report that just came out an hour ago. It looks like for this next game of going against the Browns, they're not starting Darnell. They're going to start Nick Mullins instead.
No, it's still
That's
preseason.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just curious it's from. I mean, I'm just curious on what you guys think about something like that, because wouldn't you
They
want to get?
can't,
But
they
they're
can't risk
saving it.
losing another quarterback.
Quarterback.
They can't risk it.
That's fair.
But my thought process, a meniscus is not a season-ending injury. Why is it a season-ending injury for McCarthy?
I don't know. I left my
Because a
PhD
meniscus
degree
is
at
what,
work
maybe
the other day.
5 or 6 weeks.
No, it's not.
What is it? It's not season-ending.
Well, I'm trying to remember. 'cause
I'm looking up what the average
I
is.
tore
Hold on.
mine when I was in high school, so I
Okay.
had surgery on mine. I got cleared. I tore it in November, had surgery in December, got cleared in February, but
But you weren't clear to
I-
return back to sports, right?
I
It's-
could, but I never, me personally, I didn't recover completely till probably that summer. Like I never felt the same till this
So-
summer.
What WebMD says, you should be able to return to sports. You take part in within 4 to 6 weeks. If your meniscus was repaired, it could take 6 to 9 months to return to sporting
Oh.
activities.
Mhm.
Meniscus tear and repair surgeries tend to be effective.
6 to 9 months is the end of the season.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. My bad.
That's WebMD. Do we really trust it? If your
WebMD
cough says you have
also
cancer,
says that
I could've
if you have
sworn that other
a cut,
people
that could be
have told
cancer.
me-
Everything's
that's what I say.
could
It
be
says if you
cancer.
cough, you have cancer. Exactly. But
Yeah.
I could have sworn that everybody, but not everybody. I could have sworn that there's been meniscus tears and they return in the season.
But that's, you know what it is? It's like I said, I got cleared after like 2 months or so, 2 or maybe 3 months. You can move, you can go, but you don't feel right. Like my knee didn't feel right for the time. It just
He's
it
a
didn't
bench player.
it didn't feel right. Who McCarthy? Well, he was probably gonna start. I have a feeling he was gonna start.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said
All right.
that.
Well,
See,
let me move on to something else.
Yeah.
Okay. And I probably should have talked about this right after Branden Aiyuk, because, and we're going to go back to Unc on this one. This coming weekend, Russell Willson is going to start the preseason game. We're actually going to get to see him play. Okay. Which we need to see him play. I think he needs this. But I've got a question. Okay. To you all, and I'll start with you, Mo, because you know Unc's gonna be listening to your answer first and foremost. He's gonna want to know the answer to this. Okay, is Russell playing for his job? Is he auditioning again for his job? Justin Fields looked really good last week. Is Russell playing for his job?
I don't. Why did you put me in this?
Because I'm also looking
don't.
for family turmoil.
I don't.
it's good for
know.
views.
Tyler, I get your point. Also, if I just use my brain,
Don't shoot it from the hip. Do it. Come on, man.
listen,
You're taking too long. You're thinking about it. Come
Yeah,
on.
man, you thinking too hard, baby. Uncle's are
Yeah.
like on the edge of his seat here. Don't make him fall off the edge.
listen. They playing Russell to just get some practice, get his legs right. He's older, you know. I still think Russ starts. I don't think he start for long though. Justin looked good.
Justin looked damn good.
Justin looked good. In that offense, Justin looked good. Yeah. That's what I'll stick with. I'm about to disrupt the show in a little bit though. So go to somebody else.
All right. Before going to Justin, who's going to defend Russell with everything he's got, I'm gonna go to Kory. Okay, Kory. I asked if he's playing for his job because there's a multitude of people, including myself, who are very high on Justin Fields, feel like he needed to have a good opportunity, and feel like this is looking really good. This situation looks like a perfect situation for him to excel. Russell has had a rough couple of seasons, and he needs to come out looking, in my opinion, he needs to look like a real dominant quarterback. Is he? I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked Mo. Is he auditioning for QB1 today?
In the preseason game, no.
Yes.
No, but throughout the season, yes. I doubt they're going to start Justin Fields with everything that's going on. Russ is going to start, but Russ needs to play correctly and right. They need to be winning games. If they don't win no games or they struggling, sorry, Russ, you out.
All right. I'll ask you a secondary question before I go into Justin. All right. Just if Russ comes in and throws 2 picks, goes 4 for 12, 35 yards with a sack. All right. What do we look like next week, man? Are we having a different discussion next week?
Yeah, we'd have a different discussion next week, but I still think it's still going to be the same. I really think it will still be the same. But is he getting reps with the starters or is this with the second team?
Oh, he's getting reps with starters. They're playing starter ball, baby. Starter ball today.
Yeah, if he's not, boy, oh boy. If he's not in sync and he's not looking like old Danger Russ, Fields, it's your team, boy.
All right. Justin, I'm going to go to you now because I know you were going to defend Russell with everything you have, being a former Seahawks. I'm sorry. Okay. With that said, same question. Is Russ auditioning for his job?
No.
Why?
Because he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback with veteran experience. That's why. Mike Tomlin respects the Super Bowl winning quarterback, respects the experience he has. He's going to be the starter next year.
All right. Now, I'm asking you also the same question. He comes out and has a terrible game. Are we having this same conversation next week?
No. This is going to be, Russell will be the starter. Russell need consecutive 4 or 5 games of bad games before you pull him. You pull a quarterback for one game. One bad game? No.
Even if it's the only game he's played in like 2 seasons?
That's fine.
Okay, now I'm going to go to, because I already see where Mo is going. Mo, is that the week that you pull him?
Not the week. Week 4 is when I pull him. He got 3 games to get it right.
Bad games, yeah. If he's got a couple of bad games, yeah.
3 games. You're going to give him 3 games, and if by week 4 you guys are not looking dominant and he's not playing well, you start Mr. Fields. Week 4.
Yes. He got 3 games. Week 4, Fields will be in. Russ better look good.
He's got to get comfortable with the playbook, the calling, and the offense itself, his cadence, everything. Everybody's got to get on page. So by week 4, if he don't got that, being a veteran quarterback,
he can't show that. You remember how when he would make a bad play last season, in the season before that, you could just see it on his face that like it wasn't the same confidence like when he was on the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he was on the Seahawks, his coach believed in him.
Thank you.
He didn't have that
in Denver
the last 2 seasons.
Thank you.
He didn't have that.
Let him cook.
So if he goes in and we all hold Mike Tomlin high.
Yeah.
If he goes in and he messes up though, are we going to get that Russ that is not as confident in himself anymore? But you saw Justin. You saw Justin Fields. Justin Fields looked like he's free.
Yeah.
That matters.
It does. I'm going to give you that because it's true. You get up to go to work in the morning, and if you have a good situation at your job with management and your coworkers, you go in feeling good. You have a situation where your management's being tough on you, being difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even want to go. You don't
Yeah.
even want to go. You walk in, you're like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I don't care about
And
this
Russ
place.
was being criticized for being Russ.
Yeah.
He gives a shit if he's kissing babies. Sean, shut up.
Mhm.
That's him. He's not you. Stop trying to make your quarterback you. Drew Brees fit you. That's it.
Mhm.
That's where it starts.
All right, real quick before we move on, because I just want to get Tyler's take. Tyler, how long do you give Russell? How much leash? How much rope do you give him before he gets yanked?
So they play 18 games, right?
17 regular season.
17 regular season. I think 3 is a good number because if it does, like, let's say it just doesn't perform well, you have 3 bad games, you're still like, and you play very well, you still have a chance to make the playoffs. So you want to
Mhm.
take your chances now, take it early. I say 3 games, and I agree it's more than enough time for a veteran quarterback, someone who they say he's won a Super Bowl. He's been there. He's been to the top. So he
I tell you what,
knows. Been there. 3 it should be enough. If you by that 3rd game, if he's not there, I agree with what they're saying.
And he had a Super Bowl blamed on him, which wasn't his fault.
yeah, he didn't make the
Oh,
call. But
yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know what?
changes
I'll
a
agree
player.
with you guys when I say 3 games, because 3 games is a good one. Because I'll tell you what, you know which 3 games he has? Atlanta, Denver, Chargers.
We got a
Those are
different
3
Atlanta
winnable
now.
games. Those
got
are
a
3.
starter.
Not Atlanta. That Atlanta game's completely different now.
I'm just saying it's 3 winnable. I didn't say they were dominant. They
Yeah.
weren't going to beat
No, it's
the
not
guarantee.
winnable. No, it's not. No, it's
That
not.
Atlanta
No,
one is not winnable. That one's
no,
gonna
it's
be
not.
rough
No, it's not.
with the
Okay.
No,
Well,
it's not.
either way, if they're 0-3 after those 3 games, going into week
Yeah.
4 against the Colts might be the time to
Get
put
out of the motherfucker.
Fields in. But if they're 2-1 or if they're 3-0, come on, you can't pull Russ. You can't pull him.
I mean, I think that Falcons game, that's going to be like the most defining game for him.
That's going to be the one.
Yeah. Like
That's the
if
hardest game. It's week 1.
Like if he plays
Mhm.
that and he plays really bad, he might not even make it to game 3 if it just looks that bad, because that's a tough game, so that could be an issue. So it might not even make it till then. But even if they lose, but he plays well, I think in all honesty, the Falcons game is going to determine the future for him. I think that's going to be the biggest one. Win or lose, it matters how he plays. That's going to be, even if they lose it, as long as he's showing up, he's playing, making right calls, and he's showing up to the game, I think it's a good future. But if he just gets pooped on and just looks terrible,
It's an interesting choice of words, but you know what? So be it.
let's
All
keep
right.
it PG.
All right. From one quarterback to another one who has to play. I wanted to ask you guys what you thought, and I know how your personal feelings are of him, but this is the first season in a couple seasons that we've had a healthy Deshaun Watson. The Browns were a dominant team last season, and now they are coming into it where Joe Flacco led you to the playoffs, and you played really well. You're getting back very shortly your starting running back. We saw him recently where he was squatting 600 pounds. Okay. So you're getting your running back. You have one of the best defenses in NFL. Is this the comeback year for Deshaun Watson? I'll start with you, Justin.
It needs to be. It needs to be. All right, I'm a firm believer in, especially at the quarterback position. You could look as strong as you want to look. You could look as fast as you want to look. But if you're not making the right decisions, you are not the guy. Meaning mental space, headspace. He needs to be in the right headspace, make the right decisions while he's on the field and off the field, and continue to be the leader that most people in that locker room perceive him to be. So, yeah, man, this year needs to be the year he needs to be. Be like,
Gotcha. Kory.
Mm. So to speak on Mo's best friend, because they be going to get them Asian massages together. I haven't seen anything since he's gotten there. Since he's gotten to the Browns, we haven't seen the
Glad you
Houston
said
Texans,
that.
Deshaun Watson.
Glad you said that, Kory. Like it's like you almost knew that I made some graphics for it. I appreciate you. So I'm gonna come right back to you, Kory. I'm not gonna cut you off. I'm just giving you your graphics so you have something to talk about. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This was his final season with the Texans.
Yep.
That boy's a monster.
Damn.
He threw for 4,000 yards, almost 5,000. He was ranked number 1 in the NFL. 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 300 yards per game. He was a freaking.
I think
dynamite.
that's the season. That was the season where they were up like 21-3 on Kansas City going into the half in the playoffs.
That was in 2020. That was only a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
And in 2 seasons with the Browns,
that's all we've gotten.
We've gotten 2,200 yards. This is 12 games worth of work. 184 yards per game, 9 interceptions, 14 touchdowns.
All that, yep.
This is a very different quarterback.
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to give you those stats, and now I'll let you finish your statement. Go ahead, Kory.
There really wasn't much to it. I don't think anything's really going to change at quarterback play. We're going to see a heavy run offense again. That's what they're going to go back to, because if Nick Chubb is healthy, he's going to be running that rock a lot. And that's about it. Like they went and got Jerry Jeudy really for nothing to run a lot of cardio. I feel he's not
just
going to be able to get
a
the
jag
ball out.
anyway.
Wow.
I hate that. Term,
I'm sorry, man. It's not about your Jags, but Steve Smith called him. He's just a jag,
I know
baby.
that. Hey, but Steven Smith, you a bitch.
Hey, don't you talk about him. Don't you talk about Steve Smith. He's an ex-Raven. Don't talk about him. If Steve Smith was right in front of you, he'd probably punch you in the face. Punch you in the face. Don't talk about, don't disrespect Steve Smith.
You be quiet. If he had a turn for Raven, you would be upset too, because all we have to do is say something about your Ravens and you go crazy. All right? Jag, just a guy too close to this. All right? I don't want to hear it. You're a bitch for that, Steven Smith. Steven.
Steve.
I like Steve Smith though, man. He a fighter. He's a fighter.
Fuck you, Steven.
He gonna come punch you right in your face.
No, we gonna fight. How about that?
Well, Mo, let me ask you a question about your boy, Deshaun. I know you guys are tight. So let me ask you.
Gotta this.
I know you're tight. Is this his comeback year?
No.
So you don't see him doing anything this year?
Be careful what you say next, man.
I see him being the same that he's been for the past 2 years. That's it. That's all you get from me.
So
Jared dropped a lot of passes, bro.
You don't think that the Browns is a better team than what they were when he was playing?
They are. I think Deshaun Watson is not the same player. We're not going to get him that Texans version. We're not going to get that again. That's what I think. Because he took 2 years off. In that graphic, that didn't speak to that. It was 2 years off. We not getting that no more, bro. He was dynamic, bro. If he had went straight from the Texans straight to the Browns, then the Browns would be in a different spot. Mm-hmm. But this is a man, I don't think we're getting that no more. And I could be wrong. I'm welcome to being wrong, because I like that. I didn't like it when he was in my division, but I like that version of Deshaun Watson because that shit was amazing, bro.
Mm-hmm. He was.
That shit was amazing, bro. He was
Him and D-Hop.
crazy. He was
him and D-Hop
insane.
were great combo.
Him and
How
D-Hop was insane,
Can you
bro.
put up
How
the
many-
stat of Deshaun Watson for the
Which
Browns?
one? His Texans?
His Browns stat.
many games did he play last year?
He played
He didn't play that much
He
because he got
played
hurt.
6
I
in
know
both
that's what I'm
seasons.
saying.
6 and
played
6.
6 in both seasons. Joe Flacco played 5 games for the Browns last year and had
And that was
1,600
the most
yards
exciting we
with
saw.
13 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
And also those games were decisive immediately.
Hmm.
When Deshaun played, it didn't look like that, bro.
Yeah.
It didn't look like that. But the one that I know that was in my division, that shit would have been decided early, bro.
You talking about this guy?
Yes.
Yes.
This
that
guy was a
decided
beast.
early, bro. You couldn't sack him. You couldn't do anything with him, bro. But this is a different version. Maybe he got it. I don't know what he did this offseason, bro. But if we don't see that one, I ain't worried about no damn Deshaun Watson, bro.
Mm.
You guys worried about because of his injuries? He might not be up to that level ever again.
Injuries wasn't the problem in Houston.
Okay.
It was just him.
Mental
He was
situations.
free in Houston, obviously. He was free in Houston. And it's free in Cleveland.
It's a mental thing.
It's the
man.
same with like Tiger Woods. I know this is a football show.
man.
If I can't fuck everything, I ain't gonna be the Tiger Woods y'all want me to be. If I can't go to goddamn Denny's and
So you
just
say,
go have
you're saying
sex
if he
with
can't let the
waitress-
demons out,
yeah,
he's too pent up the entire
yeah.
time.
If I
Okay.
can't go to
It's
Denny's,
it's those demons inside him. He just can't. If he can't get it out, he can't focus.
yeah, yeah. It's the same thing to me. And I'm serious when I say that, bro, because we ain't seen the same Tiger. Tiger was supposed to be able to go to Red Lobster. The waitress come, "Ooh, you fine. Come here." You know?
Red Lobster.
Yeah.
I didn't know Tiger was slumming like that, but
Yeah,
you know,
right?
He was slumming. Oh, yeah, that case he was slumming. It was Perkins waitresses or something.
I don't even
Oh.
eat at Perkins.
Oh man, I love Perkins. God damn, my tastes are terrible. Fuck.
I got higher, you know, I'm a little bougie. I don't eat at Perkins.
I'm a cheap bitch. Who am I kidding?
Jesus.
All right, guys. Hey, let me ask you a question. There's another guy who's been out of the game for a minute now, quite a minute.
Yeah.
And he's getting some press again, but not in the way he wanted. Okay, and that's Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick has reported there is a possibility of him getting back to the NFL, but not as a quarterback, but rather as a coach. Harbaugh for the Chargers has a relationship with him, and he's thinking about making him a coach for the Chargers. Immediately, this is getting news because, in my opinion, he's been completely blackballed from the NFL. Okay?
When did you hear that? How that was going to happen?
It's a rumor. He's been in touch with Harbaugh. Harbaugh's been bringing him around to go.
Bam, not happening. Los Angeles Chargers Jim Harbaugh said that Colin Kaepernick won't be joining the organization as a coach this season.
When did that release? That must be
Yesterday.
new. Today.
Yesterday.
That is the newest thing.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yes,
this
it was
topic
tweeted
just
yesterday.
changed because my question to you guys is that blackball still going on?
Who you asking?
That's a great question. I don't know which one of you. I'm gonna hit Justin over the head with this one. Justin.
Yeah, I believe it's still on him because this was early in the week. They were talking about they offered him the coach. They already had offered him the coaching opportunity, and he had turned it down with hopes to return to the NFL as a player. Now that the reports have surfaced, all of a sudden it's been taken back. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it was Harbaugh took it back or Kaepernick full blown decline, but I don't know. Maybe it's still there. Maybe, you know, seeing the NFL pulling strings in the background, telling them, nah, you shouldn't, don't do that. So we'll see what happens.
I like that. And only because Mo just downed that tequila with all
Yeah,
that
I saw
vigor
that
in him, I
too.
got to go to him right now. Mo,
Mm.
Mo, is he being kept out of this league?
McCarthy is going to be taken. He is not being blackballed from the league. There was a time he was. That time is over. Colin, it's over, brother. You should have took. You know, when I hear about that coaching opportunity, that seemed like that was before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
You should have taken it when the season was not about to come up. You should have taken that when it was offered to you. But you chose not to do that because you think that you can still play. But there's a lot of old players that think they can still play. You're one of them. It's over. It's over. You got your money from the NFL. We know that. We don't know how much. You chose, after you got that money, to go make a Netflix special calling everybody in the NFL slaves.
Mm.
So you know what I'm going to say to you, Colin? Fuck you. Fuck you. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. Then you did that and continue to try to get into that league. Hey, bitch, you're out the league. Stay out the league. You'll be okay. But Jim Harbaugh said, hey, you can be a coach on my team. You're not going to be able to play, but you can be a coach. You didn't accept it. I think that article came out just saying, hey, man, we offered him this and he didn't even want to accept that because he still want to play. Hey, bitch, you can't play no more. You can't play no more. Be a coach. Do something. There was a time when they offered you something in
They offered him
AFL.
Oh.
You said no. That was beneath you.
Mm.
You'll be all right, man. Hey, you should have took that. So next season, if it's still open, take that coaching job. Take that, bro, because nobody wants you on your team, and you old, bro. I said the same thing for Aaron Rodgers. I said the same thing for Joe Flacco. I don't want them in the league. Let these young guys do something, bro. Let them have some steam, bro. But you don't want to give them that. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
All right, let me go to Kory. Kory, if you were Colin Kaepernick, would you have accepted the position of coaching position if it was offered to you?
If I was Colin Kaepernick,
Yeah, if you're playing in his shoes.
Yeah, I would accept that position because if you can excel at it, you could become a head coach, and then you could do your thing. You could show off like, hey, look, my mind is still sharp. I got other tools. I'm able to mentor these young quarterbacks that we drafted or whatever we brought in. I would have accepted it. And I'm going to be honest, I agree with Mo. He's not being blackballed at this point. He got blackballed before. He got his money. They offered him a tryout workout. And remember, he canceled it and oh, they're going to set me up with bad receivers. Come on, man. And then you try to like move it and whatnot. You shot yourself in the foot. You're old. You're not. Aaron Rodgers hasn't retired. Joe Flacco got a job because of injuries. They're not going to touch you. Nobody's going to touch you. So just give it up. You should have took the job. Yeah.
Charlie, watch this.
Charlie? Yeah. Mostly because
Charlie, I
him.
know you could be mad at because me and Charlie had a whole argument in the truck about this. I still feel the same way. Colin tripping, bro. You tripping. You tripping. You can't sue. You can't sue. Get your money. Win. Then make a special saying, oh man, they horrible. They're slave owners. But I want to be back. Can y'all make me a slave again? Please make me a slave. What the?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Yeah, I mean, if they're so bad, why do you want to be down? Ultimately, at the end of the day, if they're so bad, why do you want to be down? All right. Well, to the topic at hand for everyone, you know, we're getting closer and closer to this season. Obviously, next weekend we're drafting our league. So, as cool as we all are, as friendly as we all are, next weekend you get to hear us talk like we hate each other. Okay, this is going to be terrible for us because we're drafting our teams, and I'm sure each one of us is going to believe that we have the best team at the end of the draft. Other than Tyler, his team's always trash. That's why he named his team the Trash Cans.
Let's go, baby. Regular season demon last year.
With that said, though, last 2 weeks ago, we told you the 5 top players that you should draft per position. Last weekend, we gave you the sleepers, those ones you should catch late in the draft. This weekend, we're telling you which guys you probably should avoid altogether. All right, position by position. All right, so we are going to go through back around again. And I'll lead it off because obviously in defense really doesn't matter too much because I gave you the top 5 and I gave you some sleepers. Well, now I'm going to tell you, when it comes to defense, drafting at the end of it, at this point, you're in a 10-team, 12-team league. You should never get to these guys. But if you are a fan of the team, these are the teams that just because you are a fan of the team does not mean you pick their defense. I will start it off. Okay, hold on. Just had my list up. The Denver Broncos. If you are a Denver fan, please do not draft the Denver Broncos defense in thinking that this will help you win your fantasy league. That's the number 5 team. Number 4. Actually, you know what? In no particular order, because they all suck at this point, okay? The Carolina Panthers. Please do not draft the Carolina Panthers to think that this team will will give you consistent points for you to win your league. There are way better teams that are even mid-tier teams that are better than them. Do not draft the Carolina Panthers. Number 3 in my book, the New York Giants. That one hurts when I say that, but the New York Giants, even though they are an improved defense from last season, that still does not mean that they are going to be a team that I would draft this coming season. They're not good enough for that. Please skip over them. This might get me beat up when I travel around town here, but the Tampa Bay Bucks. Please do not make the mistake in drafting the Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm close by the Tampa Bay. I better watch myself. But, okay, please do not make that mistake. That is not a good pick for defense in a fantasy league. And the number 5 team that I say avoid is the New Orleans Saints. Okay, they used to have a very good defense. But currently, this current team is not a team that I would pick, as there's so many better teams to pick. Please pick one of those other ones. Okay, so I started it off with the defense because defense is something we can avoid. But let me get to some of these skill positions that some of you guys would want to get to. Let me jump in with Tyler. Tyler's got my tight end list. Tyler,
Yo.
give me your list of top 5 tight ends to just straight up avoid.
All right. I'm glad there's no graphic with embarrassing pictures of us this time. Thank you for that.
Not yet.
Fuck!
I
Anyways.
still have to do post.
All right, so mine, no particular order. It's just these 5. First one is Dalton Kincaid. Buffalo ran the ball 52.9% of the snaps in its ensuing 7 games, going 6-1. In the previous 10 games under Dorsey, the Bills ran the ball 42.1% of the plays. But combined with Brady's play calling tendencies and departure of 2 of their top receivers, lost where I was at, which is pretty much the potential of fewer passes attempt. This could affect Kincaid. Kincaid played really well when Dawson Knox wasn't on the field. Kincaid averaged 7.4 targets, 6.2 catches, and 56.2 receiving yards per the games with Knox sidelined. With Knox back, Kincaid averaged 4.9, 3.8 catches, 4.9 targets, 3.8 catches, and 35 receiving yards per game.
Mm.
So with Knox back, really didn't perform as well. My next on the list, Brock Bowers.
What?
Mainly because the quarterback situation is one of the worst in the league at the moment for him. The offensive situation as a whole is one of the worst in the league currently. He is a rookie with a bad offense led by quarterbacks who are average on their best days. So to me, that's going to affect him. You got something to say, Anthony? You're really getting close.
No, I'm adjusting myself because I was shocked.
Okay.
This is like one of the top rookies
Nothing against
draft
him
class, and you're saying
nothing
to
against him
avoid
personally. Nothing against him personally.
No, I'm not saying that
But, like, the
you
player's
wouldn't live
good.
next door to him. I'm saying
No,
you're
I'm
saying you
saying-
have to draft him.
Let me put it this way. Player's good. Brock Bowers is not a bad player. It's the situation he's in.
Okay.
When you're looking at it, the fact that they have one of the quarterback situation is not great in the league. It's one of the lower ones, and the offensive is considered the worst in the league. It's just going to be tough for him. Like, he's going to have to really carry that, and that could be potentially dangerous on him. Because, I mean, he could play as well as he wants. If you don't have a good quarterback, good offense, what's he going to do?
I got you.
Next I have is, I'm going to say the name wrong. Juno Smith?
Jonnu Smith.
Jono Smith, thank you.
Mhm.
Finished tight end 16 last season. At some points, he has better fantasy options than a former teammate Kyle Pitts. Now in Miami, though, you think it might be positive, but the problem is, got to think about that coach, Mike McDonald. Simply doesn't use the position in the pass attack very often.
I can't say he's wrong.
So, because that's one of the problems. It's
That's shocking because Kyle Shanahan used Kittle, and he's a Shanahan disciple.
Yeah, but he's right that McDonald does not use his tight end, so he's 100%.
Yeah.
right.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
Next, Dalton Schultz. 2021. All right, let's see. The reason I bring him up,
It's a good one.
because you got in 2021, they got Nico Collins in the 3rd round. 2023, they got Tank Dell. In this offseason, GM bought Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, the Texans look phenomenal, but Schultz is now 4th or 5th in the passing game. So there's just a lot. It's nothing against, once again, it's just like Bowers. There's nothing against this player. Nothing against the value, what they can bring and stuff. It's the situations they're in. So they're not going to get you the fantasy points.
Yeah.
Because
It's
if
just
he's
not
4th
enough
or
to get
5th,
around.
once he's the 4th or 5th on the passing game, I mean, he's going to have to share with everybody else. So he's just not going to be able to provide as much as he could. Last, Cole Kmet. Met? Is the K silent?
Cole Kmet. Yeah.
Cole Kmet, okay.
You said it right.
Bears are loaded offense.
So basically the same situation with Cole Kmet then, because Cole Kmet looked good last season, but he didn't have
it's the same thing because it's just he's gonna have fewer options because once again they have DeAndre Swift, Keen Allen, Rome. I'm gonna pronounce that name wrong.
Doomsday.
Yep. And
DJ
they also
Moore.
have DJ Moore, the other tight end, Everett.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And you got Khalil Herbert.
It's once again, it's just an abundance of options. So it's just he's gonna have to share the rest. He's in that 4th, 5th slot. So it's nothing against the player, just bad situation. He's not going to be the star, not going to be a really all-star player to really get you a lot of points. So nothing against, it's like he's a bad player, don't draft him. No, he's just in a bad situation for fantasy points.
I kind of have to say that makes a lot of sense in that sense. You know, it's not the player being bad. Players are actually very good.
Yeah. Because I most of the players I've said,
enough plays
really nothing against them. Just when it comes to getting you points, they're not going to get you a whole lot of points because they're just not going to have a lot of. They're going to be sharing with everybody else.
Yeah. You know, with that being said, I'm just going to touch on the tight end situation. I'm going to keep it there with the tight end. Last season, the Kansas City Chiefs, their tight end, okay, which is the great Travis Kelce, he was a good pickup. But the Chiefs did not have a wide receiver core last year. This year they have a better wide receiver core. Do you guys think that he would still be a good pickup if available to you in the first, say, 3-4 rounds?
Yes.
Or do you think you would pass on Kelce?
Right. You're muted, Justin.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
So you would pass on him, or you would draft him in the first 3 if he came up?
Draft him.
You still draft Kelce within the first?
He's still number 1.
Let's say 4 rounds.
Number 1.
They have additional firepower, but is it as well as Kelce? Like Kelsey's the one that you're going to rely on the most. You have
the only one without a route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I'm
it's
just asking
like,
because it almost falls into that same thing. Almost.
But he won't be 4th or 5th. He won't be 4th or 5th.
Yeah, right. He won't be 4th or 5th.
He's still going to be one or 2 up there, while the other receivers 3, 4. That's where it's going to go down. He's still being one.
Let's not forget nothing. They just lost a receiver.
Yes, they did.
Oh, there you go.
Hollywood
so
Brown
it even
is
boosts
no
him
longer
higher.
going to be playing for them. Well, at least not right away.
So guess who that benefits? It don't benefit the receivers. It benefit
Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I was just questioning because I was trying to go along those same lines as what you were dealing with. So I just wanted to know.
It's those tight ends compared to Kelce. That's how you have to look at differently. These tight ends, there's stronger firepower than this specific one, where Kelce is the firepower.
For that matter, let me ask Kory real quick. If Mark Andrews were available to you in the first 3 or 4 with their situation, would you jump on him? Or would you try to get him a little bit later if you could?
4 or 5.
Okay.
I still think he's
That's
very
fair.
He's Lamar's blanket, like his he's his safety net.
Pause.
That's fair. I don't think that's bad.
Pause.
What you do with a blanket?
His blanket, like his
it's his
cover.
safety blanket.
Safety.
The fact that Justin's the first to say pause and Kory isn't just shows how Kory is just ruining the rest of this. You've corrupted other people, Kory. Look at what you've done.
Honestly, I'm just reaching. I'm trolling. My bad.
The corruption. I can see, Kory. It's not that you're doing well. You're just slowly corrupting the other hosts.
You lay with a blanket. Pause.
That doesn't work.
God damn it!
Don't work as a
whatever.
All right, Kory, keep going.
But no, I would still like 4 or 5. Yes.
All right. That's fair enough. Well, let me stick with you, Kory, because I do want to talk about the wide receivers. Okay. Kory talks about his wide receivers. So, wide receiver situation, Kory, you already given us your top 5 guys to pick up. You've given us sleepers. Now let's talk about the 5 wide receivers that you say don't touch them. Leave them alone.
These are the guys you avoid drafting early with that 1 through 4 pick, in my opinion.
So then you definitely would pick these guys up if it was late in the draft.
Yeah, of course. They're still good guys, but I don't think that they're gonna give as many points as you would like or need from other receivers. So number one, well, my 5 is Debo Samuels. 2021 was his breakout
Mm.
year, but only since then he's only had one season where he's had over 1,000 yards receiving and over 300 yards rushing and double-digit touchdowns. Since then, he's been a decline. His targets are down due to the additions of CMC, the rise of Branden Aiyuk, and now they have Pearsall over there, so that's only going to take away from him. And even Jawan Jennings looked even better at the end of last season. So I feel like Debo is not the move. Usually, a lot of people like to grab him early. I think he's going to be a big bust this year or not be able to produce. Next on my list is going to be DK Metcalf. Yeah. I feel one, you've got Geno Smith, and he's DK's been on a regression. Geno's been on a regression since he's been there. DK's been in the league for 5 seasons. 3 of those 5 seasons, he broke over 1,000 yards, and only 2 seasons he saw double-digit touchdowns from him. We all know Tyler Lockett's the red zone beast for that offense. And with them drafting JSN last year, I feel JSN is going to step up to the plate and start to take over and emerge as the new number 1 over there. He's younger and he can do everything DK does. So, and I'm impressed by the kid. Number 3, and we just talked about Deshaun Watson, so I have to say Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper he's a phenomenal wide receiver. He was able to benefit last year with Nick Chubb not being on the scene due to his injury. He had 1,250 yards and 5 touchdowns, which was matching his career low. He was really successful because Joe Flacco was a gunslinger and was able to get him the ball. And then we talked about Deshaun Watson earlier. Deshaun Watson has struggled the 2 seasons he's been there. What? You shaking your head.
I didn't expect you to react to me. I'm gonna react to all these stuff. I'm gonna react every time you say something crazy.
Okay.
Joe Flacco being a gunslinger has nothing to do with his decisions. Deshaun Watson should have been throwing it to Amari Cooper the whole time.
True.
He just chose not to because he doesn't have the decisions and the experience of Joe Flacco. But that's all I shook my head to. I'm going to just mute myself again and you continue.
But he is a gunslinger because that's how he played last season.
He is a gunslinger,
So that's
but
what I'm saying. He's going to take those. He's going to take those chances. That's why I said he's a gunslinger. So he was able to benefit.
Deshaun Watson, though.
Okay.
That decision making. That's all I was like, what? Wait, whoa. He is, but.
And it looks like Amari Cooper just got hurt.
Mm.
So he got hurt.
Myself.
They won't say what it is.
And I'm going to let Kory finish.
It just says.
The addition. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just going on the Amari Cooper thing. I don't mean to interrupt you. Just the fact that it says a short pass to which Cooper could be heard screaming once he planted his foot to attempt to cut in the grass.
That's bad.
Cooper did go back into the huddle and played several more plays.
Oh, he did play a little bit more.
Yeah, before asking the trainer to look at him. He did leave the training facility with the trainer.
Bro, are you writing these down?
Me? Absolutely.
Yeah, you. But you cheated, dog.
No. It's nothing to do with.
Sir.
Sorry, Kory, we're interrupting you. I'm sorry. This is your segment. I apologize. All I'm going to say is it just shows. It just doesn't show Anthony's going to rewatch the episode like I am.
No, Tyler. You think it? He's getting the sauce, and none of us should like that because we in the same fantasy league.
I mean, we were all going to watch. I mean, I was going to rewatch this and figure it out anyways, but.
Hey, man. Y'all don't even know who my first round
so this was
going to be.
So this was
it's going to shock you.
Wait, hold on. We're trying to say that this was a plot the entire time, that he tricked us this entire time, and he's using us against each other to make him better to win?
Because I promise
Is this
you, none of you
collusion?
guys are going to expect my number 1
I request a new GM of this fucking league. Sorry, Kory, go. I've been interrupting. I apologize,
yes,
Kory.
I am the commissioner of our league, just in case y'all want to know.
I looked it up
Kory,
and I saw
I'm
the
sorry.
injury.
We left off at Amari
bring
Cooper.
It up. In addition
Please
to Kory.
continue, sir. Please continue.
Last season, we saw David Njoku have the best season of his career. Also, they added Jerry Jeudy. And with Chubb coming back, we're only going to see a decline from Amari Cooper's numbers. Now, the next two, people are going to be, oh my God. But this one, it hurts to say it, but Cooper Kupp, the former Triple Crown winner. Cooper Kupp is a phenomenal wide receiver, but I feel his injuries have put him on a decline since 2021. He's 31 years old, and we saw him peak in 2029, 2020, and 2021. Also, with Puka Nacua breaking out as that Offensive Rookie of the Year runner-up, he emerged as a new number one. And with Matthew Stafford being another gunslinger, he likes to throw the ball down the field, and Puka's the guy to do it. Cooper Kupp can't stay healthy. So I do see that he will not be getting as many touches as he's expected. Now, that's fine. My number one guy is going to be Stephon Diggs. Not to draft that high. Say what you got to say.
No,
Diggs.
so go ahead, please.
No, I want to hear it.
continue.
I want to hear this. I'm just curious.
Because I see Mo going like this. We've already spoke about that Texans offense with Tyler, how explosive it is, and all the pieces that are there. You gotta think CJ Stroud has already built a relationship, especially with Tank Dell and Nico Collins. The addition of Joe Mixon, Dalton Schultz, Stephon Diggs. This is not the Buffalo Bills offense where Stephon Diggs was the primary piece of that offense. This is the Houston Texans offense where everybody is gonna feast and eat. So Diggs' numbers will decline coming into the season, and he still has to build chemistry with CJ Stroud.
It makes sense. Can't
Kory,
disagree.
It makes
was
a lot
I,
of sense.
and I may have missed it, so I apologize if I did, because we did interrupt you midway. I
good.
got your list being DK, Amari, I got Cooper Kupp, and Stephon
No,
Diggs.
don't go over it, Kory. Do not screw.
But I missed one, Kory. What was that
Hold
fifth
on.
one?
I'm sorry. I'm co-producer, right? Me co-producing right now. Justin's next.
Stop that. Stop it. You stop it.
Hey, I'm just saying I missed one. I want to make sure we got all five of his.
Oh, go ahead. Tell him.
Hold on. Wait, before you tell him, Anthony, both hands. I want to see it on the screen. I want to see both hands. I don't want to see anything written down. Both hands. You can listen. All right, now say it, Kory. Now say it. Keep the hands up.
It was Debo.
Oh, Debo Samuels. Okay, I missed that one.
All right,
Appreciate you.
No, you didn't. You motherfucker. But,
Who's next? Who's next?
All right, so being that next, I'd like to save quarterbacks for last. Okay, and that's obviously Justin. So I want to go to Mo because he's covering our running back situations today. So Mo, from the hip.
Hey, guys. From the hip. This is in no particular order. I just want to name these guys. All right? I have a reason for these guys. Starting, Derrick Henry.
A little bit louder. I can't hear you.
Writing
it down.
Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs we've ever seen. I don't think that the Ravens offense is going to show us one of the best running backs we've ever seen. He's going to be, and he's older. He's going to be a safety valve. And I get it. He's supposed to be. So use him as such. Cool. Got it. Next one, DeAndre Swift. There would never be a time I would depend on DeAndre Swift. You should not depend on DeAndre Swift. He's fucked. All right. Don't you do that. Don't you embarrass yourself. Don't you disappoint yourself. You keep your mental health at the forefront. Don't you get DeAndre Swift. All right. Next one, Aaron Jones. He's just a running back.
Whoa.
Just a running back. He's just a running back. He's just a power back. I see you, Justin. I get it. But can you throw him the ball at 3rd and 1 and make sure he gets it? Can you throw him the ball at 3rd and 5 and make sure he gets it. No. In fantasy, he's not going to be the dependable back that you need for the points to win your league. So I'm here to tell you he's not the one for you in the fantasy league. All right. Now, let's
You want
keep
to
going.
emphasize fantasy a little bit more?
Fantasy. That's for the ladies. But anyway, now,
Oh.
now, the next one, Najee Harris. If there's one person that should tell you you should not get Najee Harris, it's me. For the past 2 seasons, he wasn't my first pick, but when I got in a pinch, I went and got Najee Harris. Somehow I ended up with Najee Harris. I either traded for him or I got him in free agency. But let me tell you something. He gives you nothing. Nothing. I watched his backup give more than him. He gives you nothing. So don't you go and pick up nothing. You understand me? Because Najee Harris is ass. In fantasy, cheeks. BBL cheeks. BBL Drizzy. BBL Najee. But anyway, now, the last one. It's probably going to be shocking. I'm probably going to get ridiculed because they're going to say, ooh, it's because he's the ops. No, it's not.
Joe Mixon.
There you go. There you go, Kory. Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is not going to fit in this offense. He's not. I'm sorry, guys. You should not pick Joe Mixon to me in running backs because that offense is wide receiver, tight end. That's 1, 2. 1, 2. Wide receiver, tight end, focused. Joe Mixon is not going to be the star of the show. He's not even going to be the second star of the show. He's going to be Michelle of Destiny's Child.
Wow.
You are not going to get the points you think you're going to get from Joe Mixon. So guess what? That's who I got. That's who I got for the last one.
Wow.
All right? Joe Mixon. He's Michelle of Destiny's Child of that offense.
Damn.
We're out of here.
All right.
So I guess in this one, it's going to be what me and how I saw the tight end. He sees with Joe Mixon. So, and honestly, when it comes to fantasy, we'll see who's right.
So does that, well, with that being
It'll be
said,
interesting to see what happens.
With that being said, being the fact that they have all the weapons on offense that they have, would you all say it makes sense to try to stay away from any of the Houston Texans because they really have to share the ball?
Don't answer this question, guys. Don't answer it. Don't answer it.
No, I'm asking not for me. I have no intention of drafting anybody with the exception of CJ Stroud. If he did fall to me, I'll say it. CJ Stroud would be the only player I personally wouldn't mind having on my team. But amongst the wide receivers, as far as Tank Dell, Nico, Stefan Diggs, Schultz, like Tyler said, and now Swift, like Mo just said, okay, would you say it doesn't make much sense because they have to all share the ball? Just kind of stay away from them, other than CJ Stroud.
One of them's gonna eat.
One of them's gonna be the number. There's gonna be a number one. There will be some form of a pecking order. Who would you guys think would
be the guy? Is it gonna be Stefan or is it gonna be Nico?
I would say Nico.
You really think Nico will get it like over Stefan, even though like he's the one who's always crying for the ball?
Actually, yeah.
Because Nico's not crying. Nico fits in.
And they have chemistry already.
Nico. Isn't Nico bigger than he's taller, right, than Stefan?
I'll look it up now. That's my job.
Taller, stronger, faster.
Yeah, stronger and younger.
Fucking matter.
Yeah, I would say Nico.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just fair enough. I was just questioning because I figured like it doesn't make sense to get any Texan other than Stroud at this point.
Yeah.
You know, because Stroud's the common denominator. He's the guy who's actually passing the ball. So obviously, with all those weapons, he's the guy.
It was Nico versus Stefan, you said?
Yeah, Nico versus Stefan Diggs.
Nico's 25 years old, 6'4", 222 pounds.
Jeez.
It's over. It's over.
Stephon Diggs is 30, 6'0", 191.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a big difference.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
So 4 inches taller,
That
bigger, and 5 years younger.
Look, quote unquote, number 2, you got me.
Okay. Real quick. Now, we're finally up to the quarterbacks.
That's crazy.
Before we turn around to this, okay? But to the quarterbacks, Justin, give me a top 5 quarterbacks to just straight up avoid if you don't, or like Kory said, not to the end, not to the very end. Not worth. Not worth
Make sure you speak
top.
loud there, boy. I gotta hear this.
Yeah. Y'all gonna be bottom half, not really, but the top half, yeah. It's gonna be Daniel Jones, man. Leave that motherfucker alone. Leave him there. Don't touch him. Leave him there. That's somewhere where we're not even gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? It's self-explanatory. Didn't only play about half the year last year, and completely had a 1-to-3 ratio with his touchdowns and interceptions. It's not
I
worth
think he threw 2 interceptions this morning.
Yeah, he's not worth it, man. Throwing interceptions in the preseason is insane. But number 4, man, Will Levis. Leave him alone. Leave Will Levis alone. Listen, we know he came in last year. He had a really big game. He didn't do nothing the rest of the year. Leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? That is not the starting quarterback you want. Just leave him alone. Move on. Number 3, Geno Smith, man. I've said it last year. I'm going to say it this year. He is not the quarterback I desire for my Seattle Seahawks. He is an inconsistent quarterback, in my opinion. I do not like the way that he runs the offense. That's why I didn't argue with Kory when he said DK Metcalf, because I'm right there with him. We need a quarterback that will solidify the Seahawks offense. And like I said last year, and I got criticized for it, I believe Sam Howell can open up this offense more. But Geno Smith is a starter, so until they make that change, Geno Smith is a do not draft early for me. Right?
Okay, stop for a
Number
second.
2.
Stop for a second. If Sam Howell were to get the starting position, whether by injury or just pulling Geno, would you then change that and say that DK would be a guy that you would focus if he were available on the,
Absolutely,
let's say, the waiver wire?
Absolutely.
Okay. I just wanted to know. So
absolutely.
you're saying that DK is a guy you don't go after only because Geno is his quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, DK's going to get his touches, just not as much as he should for a player of his caliber and talent.
Okay. I can live with it.
You know,
go ahead.
And sorry, I just saw.
I'm
Geno
sorry,
Smith.
Tyler. Go ahead.
He's now requesting a new deal in Seattle.
Who's that?
Geno Smith.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah,
It says
right.
right here.
Hold on. Listen to me out there. Okay. There's a thing which is called leverage. Okay. And there's a time when you have leverage. Geno Smith, under no circumstances, ever has leverage in the NFL. Okay. Joe Flacco is a better quarterback than Geno Smith. All right. I would go and get the Jaguars' backup quarterback,
Mac Jones,
then get Geno Smith. The Jets gave up on Geno Smith. If that doesn't tell you enough, I don't know what will. Geno does not have a right to beg or demand anything. You take what you are given and you shut up.
And he got a glass jaw.
Back to regularly scheduled programs. Justin, please continue.
All right, number 2, man, Bryce Young.
Ooh.
Leave him alone. Don't touch him. I don't know why the Carolina Panthers are thinking that if you surround him with veteran receivers, he's going to be a high caliber quarterback. This guy could barely see over his offensive line.
Damn.
Could barely see over his offensive line. This man had 11 fumbles. He has more Butterfingers than Tyler's nightstand drawer.
How you
So,
know what's in
Tyler,
his
how
drawer,
you know?
though?
Wait, hey yo,
How you
how
know
you
that?
know what Tyler has in
So
his
let's move on, right?
nightstand
Number
drawer?
one quarterback not to draft.
Wait, what happened?
Kyle Murray. Leave Kyle Murray alone. Don't touch him. Hail Murray once in a lifetime. Leave Kyle Murray alone, man. Number one quarterback. I am not drafting him. Leave him alone. This man, he is another one. Could barely see over his offensive line, bro.
Damn.
I don't care if you got Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison's gonna get his touches. Gonna get his touches. As a quarterback in fantasy football, you leave that man alone. He do not give you the touchdowns. He may get you a couple yards. He's not gonna get you everything you need as a starting quarterback in your fantasy league.
Mm.
That's how I feel on that.
Okay. I want to readdress something. I want to get with Kory on his wide receiver picks. You picked Amari Cooper. I did already speak on DK, saying that if he had Sam Howell. I'm going to ask you, if Sam Howell were to take over as quarterbacking the Seahawks, would you then take that back about DK?
It all depends, but maybe. I have to say maybe, because it all, like I said, it all depends, because you've seen quarterbacks and receivers have chemistry between them. So if he was to be able to get the ball to Tyler Lockett, I mean, Sam Howell had Scary Terry who could burn the field, and he couldn't really get the ball to him. Then again, he had a bad offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean he'd be able to get DK the ball, in my opinion.
Okay, and you did say Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp for sure had an off season last season. Do you think that that's just going to be the norm, or is it?
I think his injuries are caught up to him.
So you really do think that the injuries, along with Father Time, he's just not the receiver he once was.
Yeah, we're not getting Triple Crown. After Triple Crown Cooper Kupp, that was it. That was his moment to shine, and then now he's just been on that decline.
All right. I don't really have much to come at Mo with. His list, I think, was spot on, and I have no follow-up questions for Mo. Justin, I do have a follow-up question for. Although I agree with your list, let me say that right away. I'm not going to say that. I appreciate that. I'm not going to say that your list is bad at all. Not at all. Because honestly, in this league of 32 teams, this probably does seem like the bottom five. Okay? The bottom five. I'm going to give you that. So that means that you have, 28 other quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks to pick from? Yeah, your league doesn't have 28 teams, okay? So there's no question. You definitely shouldn't stay away from that 5. But I'm going to ask all of you guys for one more pick. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the position that you guys have been picking. And I'm going to ask you guys for something a little bit different. I'm going to ask you for your fantasy life support player. What I'm saying is, this is a player, and I'll throw one out there who's a perfect example. Cooper Kupp was a perfect example of a guy who at one time was a beast, fantasy-wise, but for the past few seasons, he's been on life support when it comes to fantasy. So I'm going to ask you guys for just one more. Shoot from the hip, guys. That's what the name of the show is. So give me one more player of a player that, who's on life support. Okay, who's on life support. Come on, guys. And I'll start with Mo.
Who's on life support or keeps your team alive?
No, this one player is on life support. This might be the player.
He's about to be a void.
Yeah, this is about to be a player that I'm literally saying, please stop drafting this player. or even a guy who you may think might be a top draft pick, but you think I would avoid him.
There you go. It's a better way to word it.
You know, like a guy
I'll go first.
who might be a guy who you'll hear about, like being like, yo, he should be drafted in the top 5 picks. You're like, dude, that's a bad combo. Don't pick him. Mo, give me one from the hip.
Ezekiel Elliott.
God damn it. That was the one I was just looking at.
Stop drafting Ezekiel Elliott. He will not get you the points you need to win your fantasy. Fantasy. He will not get you those points. Will he be solid in the game that he's in? Probably. Who knows? I don't know. Depends on the game. But will he win you your fantasy? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott. He's back on the Cowboys. He knows that system. He knows what he's supposed to do. He's not going to give you the points that you need to win your fantasy. I don't care about nostalgia.
Okay. Bet. Kory, give me one.
Stop drafting Odell Beckham Jr. Thinking he's still the same old Odell.
Here we go. Now we're cooking.
Fantastic.
No, sir.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Ready?
Enough said. Kory doesn't even have to embellish on that. Okay.
You ready?
Enough said. Excellent pick. Excellent pick. Tyler.
Give it to Justin. He's ready. I'm
Ready?
Justin,
you ready?
give me one. Give me one.
Austin Eckler. Leave that motherfucker alone.
Please
is he
stop
on a
drafting
team?
Austin Eckler.
he's
Commander.
on Washington.
Oh,
Yeah, he's on
Yeah.
Washington. Please stop drafting Austin Eckler. Can we leave this man alone?
Yeah, man, alone, man.
All right.
Oh man.
Tyler, are you ready yet?
I'm just trying to
Just name someone you drafted last year, man.
Oh shit.
wow. Wow.
My bad. I had to
that
put
was-
Arrow with. My bad.
That was terrible.
Arrow. The second one.
That
my
was
bad.
terrible. All right, Tyler, I'll give you a second to think while these guys attack the shit out of me. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? The guy I'm avoiding, and in a lot of mock drafts, they got him going in round 1. My advice, stay away from Josh Allen. Stay away from Josh Allen. He does not have the wide receiver core that he had last season. All right. Last year, they learned a little something about their running game. I think Cook is going to be a top 3 in the first 3 rounds that Cook should be drafted. I think this team is going to turn into a running team, and Josh Allen is going to be Mr. Clutch. I think he's still going to get points. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to play well. But I think as far as fantasy goes, Josh Allen is not going to give you those points that you need. So if you follow other people and draft him in round 1, like a lot of mock drafts have, you're going to be sadly disappointed. I said it. I stand behind it.
All right. I'm glad you did all that. Excuse me. Can you tell me? All right. You named a lot of bullshit. Without the weapons that he had last year and the year prior and the year prior, you don't think that Josh Allen's probably going to run the ball more?
I think he is going to
Probably
run the
gonna
ball
get the
more
same
with Cook,
throwing
who came
numbers.
out last year. I think he's going to use Cook more. I think he didn't have trust in Cook. He didn't have him years previous until last year.
You don't think fantasy numbers are going to go up for Josh Allen?
No, I actually don't. I actually don't think his fantasy numbers are going to go up. I think he's going to be a quality quarterback. And if I were a Buffalo fan, which I'm not, I would be like, I'm excited for this season for Josh Allen because he might be amongst the leaders when it comes to MVP at the end of the season. But when it comes to fantasy points of him putting up week by week by week, I think you have a lot better options as far as a quarterback wise than Josh Allen. And if you follow the mock draft tendencies of having him go within the first 2 rounds, I think it's going to be sad for you. I think your team will suffer. And if you don't believe me, Put your money where your mouth is and draft him with your number 1 pick.
Absolutely.
Number 1 quarterback in fantasy last year.
I hear you. That's last year. He also had Diggs last year. And Diggs was having a crazy year at the beginning of the season.
That's true. He was.
Diggs was on fire at the beginning of the season. I don't want to hear anything what you got to say. Diggs was on fire at the beginning of the season.
That boy was give me like 30 a game.
Yeah, Diggs was on fire. He no longer has Diggs. He no longer has Davis. He has Keon Coleman, who I personally think is going to be a great...
Yeah, and they got rid of Claypool.
Okay, I personally think that Keon Coleman is going to be a very good wide receiver in this league going forward. But he
saw
is
that,
not
Justin.
Diggs.
I see it, Justin. I see it, Justin. I saw you scratch your eye. Yeah, they got rid of Claypool, brother.
Okay.
You might be right.
I'm just saying, I don't think he is worthy of a top 3 rounds. Okay. I think CJ Stroud is a better pick than him. And CJ Stroud is ranked lower than him. I think Lamar is a better pickup than him. Okay. I think Mahomes might even be a better pickup. I think Goff might be a better pickup. I don't think Josh Allen is worthy of such a high pick. That's my saying. I'm not saying he's trash. I think he's great. I think Josh Allen is great. I don't think he's worthy of a fantasy high pick. I said it. I stand behind it. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Tyler, are you ready with your life support player?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Pollard. I think he's on the decline. Like, he's been on the decline, that's what I'm saying. He's on the decline. He's, what I was just looking up, he's been averaging okay points last year. I think he was like averaging around 13, depending on what your league does and stuff. But if that keeps going down, he's just gonna be someone just don't even bother picking up at this point. He's not someone that you're gonna want to bother with because he just keeps going further down. He's on that cusp of he's okay, but he's getting worse.
Okay.
He only looked good because Zeke was trash over there, and then Zeke left and he was trash.
Yeah, I think when Zeke was there, he was able to pick up his points here and there from third down and stuff like that. He looked good during those moments. But now that when he became the feature back,
when he flies solo,
when he was the feature back, he was not worth having. So with that said, we hope we helped you guys out with your fantasy leagues. Join us next week. Next week we will be doing our draft. We're going to be on Discord. You get to follow me. If you follow Boogie_CTV, he's going to be streaming it too on his channel at the same time as I'm streaming it here on YouTube. So if you're smart, have both pages open both pages, okay, and watch both the streams so you get to see from everything. But you're going to hear us either way from Discord because we're going to be on Discord talking trash about each other. Doesn't matter. But you get to follow and you get to see how we draft our team. And maybe it works from you. So Mo's been so secretive about his theory and his plan, but you get to see it unfold. Last year's plan, he drafted Bijan Robinson as his number 1 pick, caught everybody off guard. He had the number 1 pick. We don't know who's our number 1 pick going to be this year. We don't even know the order. It's randomized. We get to find out next week. Tune in next week. With that said, gentlemen, let me hit you around the horn. Justin, parting words, my friend.
Go ahead and hit twitchtv.com and go ahead and follow Boogie_CTV. We're going live today, going live tomorrow. We got a Call of Duty tournament today, so we getting money today. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, continue to be great, feel great, act great. I mean,
nice. Tyler.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, follow Boogie_CTV. Hollywood Mo, gotta find him. What's that station head called? Station Head. Download it. Hollywood Mo, follow him.
He kept me entertained all of last week while I was editing last week's episode. I appreciate you, Mo. You know, I always put you on so I can keep on working.
But the one thing I will say, pick up from what Anthony said, we're gonna go live. It's actually on Sunday. We're going live. So just want to let you all know. I don't know. Do we have it starts at 3, so we might go live just a little bit before it.
Mhm.
But our draft starts at 3. So just to let the audience know, 3 o'clock,
Tight shit.
the 25th, we go live for our draft. So make sure you guys are coming to
You get to
watch.
say whatever I want.
Oh man,
Yeah,
cancel
yeah.
culture. Gen
remember-
Z's coming for him.
He can say that's live.
Can't edit it.
Yeah, so it's going to be live and raw.
All right.
Pause.
What you mean
Hey,
by
Cor-
that?
Oh man, Kory.
Man, you guys know this is nothing
Pause.
new. Come on, guys. Once again, NFL podcast, but bring it up. That's when Raw was going on. Do everyone remembers the Attitude Era Raw?
Yes,
That's
yes,
my
yes,
point, because
yes.
it was raw entertainment. There was no censorship. It's go, you get what you see. That's what I meant, you fucking perverts.
Damn.
Kory, parting words.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. We at it, man. I think the live draft is going to be very, very exciting. You're going to hear a lot of shit talk going on, but this is what we do. Hopefully, I get a decent pick this year because I think I've been getting blackballed.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh,
give you
collusion.
numbers.
The
We're gonna
commissioner.
give you number 8 or 9. We'll make sure you have 8 or
see,
9, so you don't get
blackball
anybody
again.
top notch. You know what I'm saying?
And the king is back, baby. We out.
And of course, Mo, Hollywood Mo.
Hey man, subscribe to my station head. You can see you can listen to the older shows no matter what date you want to listen to. They're there. Also Boogie _CTV on Twitch. Yeah. Go ahead, go to him. And then get your computers from a dog. You know.
Habitbuilds.com.
There we go. See, I was about to say it, but yeah, man. We'll be ready for y'all fantasy time. I'm keeping everything secret. I'm gonna catch people off guard probably again, or maybe not. That's my style. Let's go. All right, From the Hill Podcast. Subscribe. Come on, man. I ain't saying the rest. Let's go.
All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the broadcast today. Just keep in mind, next week we are live. Tune in. Don't miss. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. And as always, fellas, let's keep it football and let's keep it from the hip. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one, y'all.